Superman is the ultimate hero, but why does James Gunn's Superman feel like a ray of sunshine when Zack Snyder Man of Steel feel like a storm? Let's dive into the differences of their visions.
Yeah, Superman's been saving the world for over 80 years now, but James Gunn and how Snyder did their thing are completely different. I think what Man of Steel felt more like a godlike figure, on indestructible, right?
Hmm.
Compared to like Guns, which felt more hopeful and upbeat, you know. But what do you think shaped their different movies and how they did it?
Did Snyder's gritty past push him to make Superman a tragic god? And what Gunn's colorful history made him craft a hero who feels like your best friend? Stick around, uncover the inspirations and why their Superman speak to us.
We gonna be breaking down their films, interviews, and other stuff we looked up on them, and then but yeah, hit the like button if you love Superman and DC, the new DCU.
That's
This
right, the
yeah
new
we
DCU.
yeah new shit.
Let's
But
get started. Okay, starting with Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's early films like The 300,
that was a badass movie though.
it was
Yeah,
badass.
that was
And The
badass.
Watchmen show his love for mythic, visual,
Yeah.
intense stories with flawed heroes. Interviews reveal he wanted Man of Steel to feel like the real world Superman. Yeah, he wanted to feel like what how
Yeah,
Superman would feel like a
yeah.
god in a realistic world.
I think he did an interview a while back. I think it was Collider, where he said he had drawn from Greek myth and what had happened from 9/11 and shit, where it made him seem like he wanted to make Clark distrust humanity and shit like that. Which it was kind of a weird choice. I didn't even know about that shit. Why he decided to base it a bit on that.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Hmm.
weird. It makes
Yeah, I didn't
sense.
know that either. Which
Uh,
would kind of makes sense for the,
yeah.
even though Superman came out what 10 years or
What
so years after
13,
9/11.
14? Yeah.
Yeah, 10 plus years after that. But I can see it too, and you can kind of see a little bit for his devastation,
Uh,
how things were
uh,
in that movie. So, what do people say about Snyder's film, Man of Steel? Fans criticize Superman as too gloomy, especially when he kills Zod. Yeah, I remember that. That was,
no, well, I like that part though.
I
That
didn't.
that's just me though.
Now, most people didn't like it,
Yeah,
which clash with Superman's comic roots.
yeah.
Like he didn't kill anybody. Experts like Edward Gloss noted frustrations with Snyder's focus on an alien over hope.
All right, so there was one big criticism, and that was with that a lot of people had was with Paul Kent's death.
Oh yeah.
I think his death was very lame because it was the scene where it was the tornadoes were gonna touch down and everybody's running to shelter,
Mm-hmm.
and and his dad got stuck behind because he's saying a fucking dog, and then he tells Clark, "No, don't come back for me."
Yeah, right.
And
That
he's
was
like,
stupid.
"Don't."
I hated that.
Shit. And Superman just watches his dad get taken up by a fucking tornado. I was like, what the fuck? That
He
was
could have saved him real
yeah,
quick,
yeah.
and nobody probably wouldn't even notice.
All right, so that's the very important part is he could have saved his ass. He
Mm-hmm.
could have stopped it because I think in the comics or in the original the first film that had come out, Clark couldn't stop his dad from having a heart attack. Like no matter all the powers that he had,
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't stop something like that.
Right.
Which would is what made it a more like epic scene compared to this motherfucker get sucked up by a tornado and
Basically,
shit.
basically. So
Cause Superman could have flown
he
up
could have
to the
did it.
tornado. Like, oh, you got all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big, big hate even on my part. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, that was pretty dumb. But
Okay. But with all that said, Snyder did have some
yeah,
cool
yeah,
ass
yeah.
action sequences in the movie.
Oh, like the one where him and Faora, right?
Yeah, when they
Fights.
fought.
Yeah, where so that girl and then this other when Assad's crew they fight, dude, they just fuck, they just tearing shit
Yeah,
up,
they
man.
did. That's just
That
what
was
it
an
was. They
epic.
were tearing up
That was
everything
an
in
epic
Smallville.
fight scene. Yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, also that first flight, I love that first flight that Superman took when he first put on the suit.
Yeah,
Like how when he came up out of the ship,
yeah.
I always thought that ship was weird. Like I mean, I know it's from his planet because that basically ship took place of the Fortress of Solitude. Basically, that's what the ship was.
Oh, you talking about are you talking about the design in itself? Because
Yeah,
it
just
is a
all.
bit different
Yeah, it's
compared
big.
to.
It's a lot different. Like it's basically a ship and it's set up. Cause it was all his suit. I mean,
Yeah, but here, hold on. One cool thing about that is in Men of Steel they showed bits of Krypton. I thought all that shit was awesome.
they did.
Yeah, like all the tech and like how Superman
Hmm.
got his shit. I really like that shit because I don't remember the other films ever showing the Kryptonian side of it too much. At least I may have forgotten. Maybe they did, but I don't remember showing that. Not at least not like this in
No.
Man of Steel how they showed it, which I really like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
of course, that's because it's a origin story.
yeah,
That's why they showed that.
but
So
yeah,
why is Superman so dark in Snyder's movie? Snyder used like he used those muted colors like the blue and the
it was
dark
so.
blue and like the
mm,
really dark red and grays.
No, it's just how he did his colors and what he chose. Like, if you look at our image in the background, just looking at the thumbnails, if
Yeah,
if if you were to see them,
yeah,
the new logo versus or the Superman 2025 logo versus what Snyder had kicked out for his logo, like you could just see the fucking difference in them.
yeah. It's very
Uh,
different. So enters James Gunn.
all right, so Guns is done. What Guardians of the Galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad. I think Guardians of the Galaxy felt more like this, where it was like upbeat, funny and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, he said, I think he said he had drawn from the comics from All Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, and he wanted a more of a friendly
Mm-hmm.
Superman, who's kind and shit,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of geeky kind of
Yeah,
Superman, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted Superman who's pretty damn good at being flawed, focusing on Clark's humanity over alien roots.
Mm.
Cornsweat said he explored what it means to be human and in an alternate world, not ours. What you mean like not ours? Mean like that's why the fantastical stuff come in at.
Yeah.
It's not the realistic like how Zack Snyder did.
I mean, even what you just said right now, like his focus on not being the alien roots, which seems like a big contrast to what we was talking about Snyder before,
Right,
which
right,
more focused on that, right?
exactly.
Uh,
And Guns is definitely more for us. Look wise, it's very more
yeah,
vibrant.
yeah, big
The
time.
blues are nice, as you can see, like in our background on here. Also, camera angles are way different from Zack Snyder. Superman, it's I know Concept wanted to. That's why he wanted to wear the shorts on the front of
Yeah, the
the
briefs
front
and shit.
on the
Yeah,
briefs on the suit.
hmm
He said he wanted Superman to be look more approachable.
like a
Uh,
wrestler.
Yes, because back in the day, the strong men were they
The
wore
wrestler.
those shorts like that, and they were supposed to be like very strong, and people liked them. They was friendly. People was able to go talk to them, and they wanted this optimistic tone
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
for
No, like
2025.
a lot of people that at least the early talk of it was how it did have that upbeat shit.
Hmm.
even there's a scene in the movie where a fucking Superman he saved the squirrel, and then they were talking about it in the interview that we had watched. That they had debated whether he should save the squirrel or not.
Yeah,
They actually did a whole debate about that shit, and like to whether they should include it or not. And while it does seem like a small scene, it's not because they Superman took the time from saving everybody just to go and save a
hmm
fucking squirrel.
right.
Uh,
And he was not only just saving the squirrel,
mhm,
like like when they fought the kaiju, he
yeah,
was like
yeah,
when he hit the kaiju and started backing like it was about to crash into a building, he saved it from doing that,
yeah,
which would have been a lot of destruction and people's lives were in that people were in that building.
yeah.
So that would have killed a lot of folks.
No, there was a lot of squirrel haters though. Even Gunn said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what have people said? Other things have said about guns. So some people said that they've called Superman weak
Mm-hmm.
in this, which I don't understand that. They've said, I mean, I think what makes Superman seem weak in this, James Gunn did say he's not the over god like Superman that like Snyder did,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, he's not weak. He's up until this point in the movie where he fought against another Kryptonian that's basically him, his clone, that he gotten beat. He haven't gotten beaten by anybody. And maybe they probably look at him as him saving, like how he's happy, he's smiling a lot. He believes in people that don't
No,
believe him.
no, it's because that was one good thing. I think that was when he was talking with Lois, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was she kind of questioned what you just said is why do you see everybody like that? And he was like, no, maybe that's the punk rock that you're
Yeah,
supposed to believe in people, but outside like connecting to what he said, I think there was something good in that shit to where seeing people good like that, it's not the cynical side of all the bullshit because you could see everything in that negative shit or in how kind of they had Lois had kind of talked about it and just talking about that shit in terms of our shit, you could see shit like that and then the cynical point of view,
mm-hmm.
but there's nothing bad with trying to look at it from Clark's perspective to where he tries to see it more positive and shit.
Right.
I think that's good.
And a lot
I
of people,
really like that part. That part
yeah,
was
me
awesome.
too. And a lot of people probably thought
Yeah.
he was being silly, like,
Uh,
but
eh,
a lot of people have
mhm.
liked this Superman. I mean, you got people that don't like it or here and there, but his
Yeah.
score, the score, audience score is pretty high.
Well, no, but let's look at Snyder and let's look at Guns. Right. You can tell the comparisons of the two, but in this scenario, would you take this kind of Superman seriously if he was jokey and upbeat? But my question is what's wrong with looking at somebody who's like that seriously? Because there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's not
I like, but a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people
right,
see it. No, this motherfucker's all silly and whatever. Like I'm not gonna take this motherfucker seriously.
right,
They don't see him as a Superman.
right,
But that's the Clark Kent side, right?
right.
Compared to the actual Superman side.
There was no silliness in Man of Steel
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that movie didn't even let for any type of
no,
silliness.
yeah, and that's the thing. So
So
let's bring it into what I think Snyder had a bigger, darker aesthetic. Yeah, his aesthetic was outside the colors and shit, just the music and shit.
right,
I think it was Hans Zimmer that did his shit, but that soundtrack though was
yeah,
pretty epic.
it was
But
pretty
it
good.
just felt if you listen to the soundtrack by itself, I wish we could fucking play it. You can get a copyright.
Right,
But
can't do too much.
it had like a somber kind of tone. Even that score with the drums and shit,
Hmm.
that when he first took off flying and
Hmm.
shit, that epic build up, but it wasn't like a positive kind of shit.
Right, somebody
It,
the
it,
Man of Steel, right?
yeah, I'm talking about
Yep.
Man of Steel shit. It was just that music that was behind it. It felt more serious,
Right.
and this motherfucker did have a good sense in making it feel like that, which was kind of
He did.
weird.
He right. He
Snyder, I'm
did.
talking about Snyder.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did. I mean, like I said, I've always said that Snyder. I do like the Man of Steel, and it
mhm.
was good for what that was.
Yeah,
Like Snyder did a good job with that version of Superman that he wanted to put out there.
yeah.
He did really good. Like it was, like you said, like the all the imagery he put around it
Mhm.
and all that stuff. You believe that Superman. That's how that Superman would act in that type of world.
Yeah. No, I was wondering if my question was, did Snyder decide to do that because he was trying to hit what the original comic was like? Because in the original comic, like he was more of a godlike figure. He was
Right.
completely
Right.
unstoppable until they introduced Kryptonite.
I don't think that's what he was going for,
Mm.
but I think he just wanted to answer the question: What does Superman? How would Superman be in a real world? An
Yeah.
alien coming to the real world.
Mhm.
That's what he wanted, and that's what happened right there with that.
Yeah, I think there was another one where what made it dark was Superman killed Zod. Here's the here's the scenario that most people hate is because how they had put him down into that spot. Superman didn't have to kill him because Zod was shooting the laser at the family that he
Hmm.
had cornered, right?
Yep.
There's other ways to stop Zod. You could have just lifted his ass up, right, or take him out, or do something
Yeah.
else,
I always
or
thought
get the family out, or something, right?
I always thought that he could have just took Zod and just flew him up into
Yeah,
the sky,
yeah,
but
let him be, but
I don't know how easy that would have been though for him.
no,
Like,
obviously it wasn't that easy because even he struggled
right?
with it. But I think that was part of Snyder's vision and choice.
Yeah.
They the setup was shit. I'll
Yeah, cause
give
he.
people that. I'll give people that. The setup was shit. But if you had given a stronger setup to where there was higher stakes,
Yep.
maybe like his dad, let's say his fucking dad was injured and right there in the corner, his dad couldn't move and his fucking Zaw was about to shoot that motherfucker with the laser beam.
Yeah.
And the only thing that him would have been more emotional is like, oh, either his mom, Lois, anybody else, right?
Hmm.
It would have had a more emotional beat to her. Like, no, you react more emotionally.
Right.
At least he would be like, no, that's my family. I'm gonna snap this motherfucker's neck,
Yeah.
right? Compared to some random people,
And
they
he
just trying to say it.
he did put Superman in a bad position to where
Uh,
he had to do that
uh,
too. So that was Zack Snyder's writing on that part.
uh,
So I mean, the killing of Zod. I mean, I'm not gonna put too much weight on it because I know in the recent, not a recent, well, in an interview not too long ago, I just heard this on YouTube. Somebody said that James Gunn was asked about that killing scene. They asked, would this Superman kill? And he said, yes, he would.
yeah.
He said that if Superman were put into a position to where he had to protect some people he really loved, he would do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I
I'm
said.
like,
Yeah.
okay, then you
No, but
can't.
yeah,
So you can't get mad at this one
yeah,
right here if that's the case. If Zack Snyder
yeah.
did that, and then you got James Gunn putting doing the same thing, I mean, then that wouldn't be comparable
Yeah,
in that way. So I can't really go up against that now.
I say it kind of goes back to just what I was trying to bring up is what are the stakes for Superman needing to actually kill somebody?
Yeah, it gotta be to where it's
Yeah,
life and like protecting people he loved.
yeah,
Like in this case, he was protecting some innocent folks.
hmm
With Zod was trying to, he was gonna kill him. He was gonna do it either way.
but look, okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go a little bit back. Superman. I know Snyder didn't do this shit, but Superman goes so far as to save a squirrel. Wouldn't he kill Zod just to save that one family? I know the stakes are kind of
I
weird, but
mean, yeah, I mean,
uh,
Superman will save anybody that needs to be saved.
uh,
That's what Superman
yeah,
does.
but in order, another question going back, I'm gonna keep jumping back and forth on this shit, like asking myself, it's like I don't think you don't have to kill a person to save a squirrel,
Right,
i.e. the family,
right. So in other words, too, that Gunn didn't put Superman in any position to where he had to kill
yeah,
anybody either.
yeah,
So that saving that squirrel is just like just
uh,
showing how he loved everything and
uh,
everybody. So even the little animals, even a little dog he saved from getting stumped by the kaiju.
yeah,
He saved that little dog.
yeah.
So
I would have let that fucking dog get squashed, man. Fuck that shit.
nah, I would save the dog, man.
No, no, that fucking stupid dog needed to move.
Yeah, he moved him all right. He blew
He
him to the
had to
side.
move him.
Okay, let's talk James Gunn's fantastical approach. He draws a lot of his inspirations from Superman comics and the Guardians of the Galaxy. That style, that type of style of world building, and he got the alien tech just like the with the like in what Lex Luthor had, like that little multiverse, well the thing where you can skip through different
Oh,
like
the wormholes, the
yeah the
portals.
wormholes and portals and all that stuff. All that type of stuff wouldn't fit in somewhere like Snyder's type of
No,
film. Yeah, like it's like, which is what I like. I like how this is how the fantastical color is. It's unlimited.
I
It's so much stuff you can do
I
with
think
it.
that's where they fucked up. In the further movies where they had to introduce Aquaman and Wonder Woman
Yeah,
because and even I don't think they got to Green Lantern, but going down that path, it would have been more fantastical. And you can't set that up if you already have kind of a realistic kind of thing. You will have to ground them more, right?
Yes, true.
Yeah,
And those type of characters just seem like they need to be
yeah,
fantastical.
yeah,
Like
big time.
like you said,
Martian
that's
Manhunter,
what, yeah,
fucking
they
Aquaman,
were
yeah,
gonna bring that in there, and that
yeah,
would have seemed very
uh,
weird
yeah,
in that type of movie. Yeah, like you said, Diana,
uh,
Wonder Woman.
yeah.
So yeah,
Because like if you look at even like the scenery and shit, Snyder based his shit off New York and made it feel more like that
yeah, it did.
compared to what Gunn did. Now Gunn's is fantastical. Gun shit is somewhat real world, but he's like, no, it's not New York.
Right.
Yeah, he's saying so. He's like, no, this is a whole different place.
And you can tell like
Yeah.
it sets big differences versus when Snyder's it's like it's supposed to be a metropolis, but you can tell it
Mm.
looks like it could be New York or Chicago or whatever.
I think here's one thing that did kind of bug me after seeing it a little bit. If it's more a fantastical world and shit, I think they which is what we're gonna talk about a different one. Fantastic Four did a bit more. I think that the world should have also seemed a bit more fantastical.
Mm.
Yeah, at least for what James Gunn did. You know,
Or you think he should have
just
made a little bit more fantastic?
like the tech, the buildings, not what Superman and them use, but what about everyday people use? You
Oh,
know, because if
mm.
that tech is already out there in the world,
But
there should be some tech
I see what
to
you're
the
saying.
people, right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think we just didn't dive into that. I think it's in there. I
Mm.
just don't think he focused on that as much.
Yeah.
Which that's what it kind of goes to what how this movie is. It didn't really, like James Gunn Superman didn't really let you sit around to
Hmm.
focus on the other stuff around you. It like it was so like to this scene, to this scene, to this scene, to this
Yeah.
scene. It didn't really give you time to breathe and look at other stuff
Uh,
that's going on, like with the people around them. So you couldn't
mhm.
really tell if they had that type of stuff at all.
Yeah, but when you sit down, you like start looking for it. I'm like,
Yeah, you
no, where the
got
fuck's the tech? You know, like,
yeah, you got
where's
to
all the
watch a
shit?
little bit. You got to watch that. I've watched Superman, the new Superman, for like we watched like 3, 4 times now, maybe 3 times
I think more
for
than
me.
three.
Yeah,
I know I watched it at least 3 times.
yeah. I think
What would y'all prefer? You know, a more fantastical world or a more down to earth kind of grounded world? To me, I now there's a lot of cool shit in the new one. I still Men of Steel was like more Men of Steel was more favorite for my ass. Like I really
it's
like
the
that version.
first time you ever said that.
No, it's just because I've been watching the two.
Okay. I mean,
Like
I'm not saying it's wrong, of course, because
no, it's just going back to those scenes of him fucking fighting the Zod,
yeah,
and then there's a lot of shit that I didn't like about the Man of Steel, but the fucking score, like shit like that.
because I've watched it too. I rewatched it,
Yeah. No,
and
I remember just going back and watching that fucking Ferrara fight scene. That
yeah,
little bit. From there, I went and watched the fucking movie again. And then hearing that fucking drums score from Cimarron, like shit.
yeah, I watched the whole movie.
It was just good shit. Like if I had to compare the two, or like which one would I prefer, it was Snyder shit. But
Okay.
that darker, gloomier hit to me was like, it was
Like I said,
it was good.
that was good for that Superman because
Mm,
Superman is not dark and gloomy. Superman he wants to be the best he can be. He wants to do right. He's a good boy, basically, if you
mm,
want to say it.
mm,
So I'm gonna go with the fantastical world because I think it's so much possibilities. It may be more childlike because I think there's a
mm.
lot of people saying that too because it's more kids. It's more like it's a comic book. It's more
Yeah.
like a comic book. But I think it's more possibilities for a fantastical world. For the realistic, you gotta be more realistic. Realism, gritty, them, that's Batman. Batman is if you want to be gritty
Mm,
and brooding, that's Batman.
yeah.
Superman is not broody, and he's not that. He's not Batman. I want to be able to tell the difference between Superman and Batman. And even when
Yeah,
you look,
but here's the thing. All right, so when those films come, all right, some of Justice, a lot of the Justice League, this that version was shit. But that Batman, and that Superman were fucking awesome.
What do you mean?
With that scene where Batman was taking down those insects from the future world, the Dark Realm shit,
Mm.
that was fucking awesome. All that shit was legit.
To mind in the Justice League movie?
Yeah,
Okay.
the the part where all this shit gets fucked up is Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and all that extra shit. If you just had the Men of Steel by itself, and then the Batman movie, the Dark Knight, I forgot what the fuck it was called. Those
Mm.
two, you don't have to join them together, but just the way that Snyder did that shit,
Mm.
it was good. That greediness that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed
But
that shit. I really like that part.
they passed. It
Now
was supposed to. That was
Ben
supposed to.
Affleck as Batman was legit.
I know he was.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a Superman movie, mind you. That was supposed to be a Superman
Mm-hmm.
movie, like
Yeah.
Superman 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they turned into a Batman. That was a Batman movie.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't like about it. And I don't like that you can't, like I said, you can't tell the difference between Superman and Batman. Batman is Gruden, Superman was Gruden, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, but
But that's
that's
not how it's supposed to be.
no, you're right. But that's that world. That's the world
Mm,
that Snyder built.
yeah, I
See,
guess.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
good shit about it. At
Okay.
least to me. At least to me. Right? This is just me.
Okay. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, I like, well, I don't know about Batman versus Superman. I think that they
That was shit. That
fucking
movie was
killed
yeah.
Superman, man.
No,
Why would you kill Superman in the second film?
no, they fucked up. No, I'm telling
That
you.
was
Look,
stupid.
I'm not talking about all that shit. I'm talking about just the characters, the
Okay.
look, the way it
I mean,
was
because I
developed
think
and shit like that.
up until now, right now,
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck is the best looking Batman I've seen.
Yes, he was
I
very
want to
fucking.
see what's going to
I
happen
was
with Zack
surprised that he
Snyder's.
was even gonna
Yeah.
like. I was remember this shit. I was
Uh,
fucking making fun of this motherfucker playing as Batman, and
I say
until
give him a chance. I think I was saying that.
uh,
But like you said, I like how Ben Affleck looked. I liked how I mean, not to say David Coulson. I like how Henry Cavill Superman looked. I just don't like that movie that much because I think it should have been something else instead of what they did.
how do you think James Gunn is gonna do his Batman version? Because Batman has to be gritty, right?
Okay, yes,
Now,
I
how
got an
the
answer for it
fuck is
already
he gonna fit that shit into this
because James
new
Gunn
colorful world?
he has reported that the Batman that's going on now, Mister what's the dude's name that's doing Batman now?
Um,
Uh,
yeah, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves Batman. He wants it's gonna be that look that medium because he's gonna
Mhm.
well as far as like it's not gonna be joking. I think it's gonna be more like a big Batman and versus, but he's still gonna have a detective. He's still gonna be gritty. But the stuff the stuff around him is going to be more like of course it's fantastical.
Mhm.
That's what's going to make the difference.
Oh, it's gonna
I
be
don't think he's going to change Batman
like a
himself.
Batman Forever or Batman and Robin.
No,
Yeah.
no, no,
That
no,
was
no,
pretty
no, no,
fantastical.
no,
No, God!
no, no, sir.
No, God, please,
No.
no! No!
I don't know how many times
No!
I need to say that.
One
No!
of the best Batman.
No, no,
Batman and Robin.
no,
was
sir.
Epic.
No. Okay.
Clooney.
Anyway, don't get me started on that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So what Superman win?
Well, all right. To me, Man,
I'm gonna go. Of course, I'm gonna go with this. That's the more realistic, this more Superman like character, which is the Gun Superman.
yeah.
Gun Superman reminds me how Superman's supposed to be, just like Christopher Reeves. He's kind. He has he kind. Even though he has superpowers, he used them responsibly. He don't just go around like tell you like what you count. Snyder's Superman was going a whole nother way.
Mm-hmm.
Hills was going to more of a darker, like he was gonna get even worse with Superman. He was gonna make Superman evil. He gonna get controlled by Darkseid and turn Superman evil to destroy the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So he was getting worse. So
But it's all part of the comic.
a lot of things can be part of the comics because
No, but
there's so many comic books
but
versions of these characters.
But that right there is down to the director's choice to which
It's
direction
true.
to go, right?
You're right, but
So, but here's the thing. That's why both of them fucking matter. Cause now we actually got to see both sides.
yeah,
We got to see a dark version of Man of Steel, somewhat realistic and shit, right? And we got to see now this more fantastical motherfucker with James Gunn's version, more positive, upbeat, and you need both sides. You get to see both sides.
yeah,
You know, we wouldn't be having this conversation if both of the fucking movies come out.
that's true.
Uh,
That's true.
uh,
Okay.
so it's good. I think overall it's good that both versions is coming out.
Okay, with all that being said, Zack Snyder's Superman carries the weight of a god. Gunn's lifts us for hope, but both redefine Man of Steel for their time. So which speaks to you? Team Snyder, the epic grit, or it's James Gunn heartfelt hero? Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. Push the like button and subscribe. Peace out.
Step into the zone where we discuss what's shown on the MNT podcast, where minds get blown from the latest movies to the comics and the TV show.